Hey guys, how's it going? I'm back at it again here in the live stream during the day. A little weird, but you know, we'll get into it. Back for like 2 days trying to get used to things again. Did a lot of playing yesterday, but I was up most of the day still on the first shift kind of schedule with my wife, so made streaming a little bit hard. But I got a pretty good start in both the arenas. I got about 1 million points in the 3-star featured and the 4-star basic. So I think I should be on path right now to get both of them, I hope. Right now I want to use all my energy here and doing a little bit of clearing in Act 4. Then I'll get back into the arena grind. So hope the internet and everything was okay while I was gone. I hope we left in good, competent hands. I got some messages down there. Can check here in a minute, see what they say. Let's see. I think I was going to use Guillotine as my primary path runner. Anything not class advantage. Yeah, I don't really know anything really that happened in the community while I was gone. I really kind of lost track of everything. I was able to move an AQ and use some of my quest energy, not necessarily a whole lot of it, but didn't get much of any real arena grind in, so we get the T4 basic done while I was on vacation. That was kind of nice. Got one afternoon I was able to sit down and play. Did use a ton of units though to finish it off, which was hurt a little bit, but let's see what are in these here. Anything cool? Wow, new crystal. Item usage. I contributed a pretty fair share amount to that item usage, so that's kind of cool. When I used probably like 100 arena boosts yesterday to get me up to my 1,000 points, or my 1,000,000 points for the 3-star arena. I'm going to try and be a little silly and go for both, but they should both be, it should be a low enough amount. I shouldn't have a problem. I think I got a good enough start on it. I do need to hurry up and finish this though, and then get over to the 4-star basic arena so I can work on trying to awaken my Captain America here. It's going to be a little weird. I think even when I awaken him, I think he's still going to be stuck at signature level 1 for quite a while, because I pulled a Quake about a week ago. So I think she's going to get my 4-star Science Awaken Stone, and then all of my Science Stones. And then she'll probably get Awakened here pretty soon. Or not Awakened. She'll get R5 pretty soon. So I have a little over 2. Tier 3, not Tier 3, Tier 4, right? Class, Catalyst and Science. Brain's still not working quite right. I just got up a couple of minutes ago. I haven't really thought a whole lot about the game in the last week while I was off. I did a little better than I thought I was going to. I thought I was going to have a little bit rougher time with Alliance War and Alliance Quest, but I think I did alright. I did a lot more sleeping while I was on vacation, though, than I normally do. I did quite a bit of drinking, so I wouldn't doubt it if I slept 10, 12 hours a night. That was kind of nice. But we'll get back to real life now. Yeah, go back to work later tonight. That'll be fun. You know, the Spidey quest is up right now, but I think I'm just kind of gonna ignore those for a day or two here. I haven't opened my login crystal yet. I can do that later too. Hey Aaron, how's it going? You do a good job holding down the internet while I was gone? Everything's still in place? Yeah, I wasn't able to play any real arena at all that first round. I got the T4 basic. I was able to do that in like a morning or an afternoon, whatever you'd want to consider it. Let's see here if I should go this way. Alright. What's upcoming here? Science Arena Battle. Item usage. Alright, what was coming? Alright, science is coming all across the board. How's it going, Dr. Strange? Just got back from vacation, so I don't really know what's happened in the community at all in the last several days. I know I did have a chance to talk to my cousin who's a patent lawyer, and I guess a bunch of my friends who are lawyers and all that, and business owners and stuff. I should have already done, I think it's called an LLC, and I should have incorporated already. I think I need to work on that. I was planning to wait to do that until after I had started making money on this, but I think I should have done that already because it would have helped me with my taxes. You can write off like my office, and I bought a tablet and all that. Let me write everything off, but to look into that a little bit more. How's it going, Gina? I hope that's how it's pronounced. Not, I don't know. We'll go Gina, though. I think Gina sounds good. Let's get back in the arenas here. Spent a little bit of time on it yesterday, so I don't think I'm too far behind on them. I think that one I'm plenty good on. This one I probably need a little bit more work. What are my teams? I've changed a couple things around here, so trying to remember who goes where. It'll be a little bit. I got that nice Iceman in there now. Seems pretty slick. I kind of want to go with Dormammu just so I can get a little more used to him with AQ and all that. Hey Jay, how's it going? Let's see. If they're all unduped, I would probably do Ultron first. I think you get the most utility out of him without him being duplicated, because you still get the double immunity. He still has the heals. They're not necessarily that strong, but with being poisoned and bleed immune, I think there's more places you're going to be able to use him than you would be able to use Cable or Juggernaut. Because I was using my my unduped Ultron for a little bit in Alliance Quest. Because you still get that little bit of healing, which is nice, and with the double immunity, can help out a lot. Now, the path I'm taking keeps changing, but I was fighting on map 5. I had to fight 2 archangels, so it was really nice bringing him in against them, because they got the class advantage, and I didn't have to worry about him making me bleed or use neurotoxin. So I mean, it pretty much makes Archangel useless. I don't know where else you'd constantly be fighting an Archangel, but how's it going, Junior Pereira? Like Juggernaut specifically, in order to be really useful, he does need to be duplicated. Cable, I don't know as much about Cable. I don't really have Cable yet, so I don't use him a whole lot. I would assume he needs to be duplicated to become really good. How's it going, Dennis? Personally, I'm a much bigger fan of Deep Wounds and Assassin. I really don't like what's that one called? Drawing a blank. I'm still half asleep. Shoot, what's it called? Why can't I remember? I'll tell you. Take a look and see. Offense. I don't like this one at all. Recoil. Yeah, I can't stand recoil. I dislike recoil so much that I pretty much stopped working on all of it. Let's see, Jugs is... Oh, your Jugs is duped. Your Juggernaut, then, if he's duped, he may not be a bad choice then. You can use him. He can be really good for Alliance War defense. But if you're running dual... if you're running both of these two, you can think of what they're called right offhand. If you're running both of those, though, then Ultron would be a better choice, because you can get all the more damage without any of the real losses. The whole thing is you can't really use the specials. But I like these two a little more personally. I think they work a little bit better. So. Well, there's a couple easy ways you can stream. The easiest is, I think, on all the Android devices, you can just download the YouTube app, and you can just download, you do it straight from there. Or what I'm running here is I'm running OBS Studio, which that takes a lot more work. But it's not too bad once you get the hang of it. I think it's pretty cool. So what are we doing here? We're in the arena. Alright, Doctor Strange. I understand. I do that all the time. I'll log into someone else's while I work on setting up something for my video or something. Work on making one. I pop in and out. Wait till they say something that I think I can make a funny comment on, and then hop in. Gets kind of funny though is when I'm lurking in the other room, and they say something, and then I've got to run in here from the other room. Let's see. I don't know if I get a real big advantage necessarily with Iceman versus either one of them. I think Scarlet Witch will be harder, so we'll put Iceman on her. Black Panther's not necessarily the strongest guy in the world, but it's good for defense. Just brought him up a couple weeks ago, or a week ago. It's like massively reworked my roster here. Oh, wow. I have a video that I did on it, on masteries, but it's kind of more for like newer players to figure out. I have mine built to try to cater to like my top like 4 to 6 champions, I guess, for who I'm doing the majority of my fighting with. I don't have, I guess Iceman's not the only guy I have in there with dual immunity. He might be the only guy I have in there with any immunity. So I haven't got too much into the suicides yet, because I just don't like recoil at all. I think recoil makes everyone on my roster more useless. So I don't think the amount that I gain from the pluses is worth not being able to use my specials. But I have it kind of set up in a correct proportion. I run 2 Mystics. With Dr. Voodoo, I like Mystic Dispersion at level 3. I think if I had my Mystic Dispersion at level 4, my Dr. Voodoo would be really hard to use, because I'd never be able to use his L1. So I like that at 3. I'm still working on maxing out my Deep Wounds and my Assassin. I'll probably go Assassin right now more than Deep Wounds, because I think more of my champions are starting to not be bleeders than they were bleeders. Guillotine was my first R5, so a lot of it was my DPX will come up here in a couple of minutes. Rich. I try having my mastery set up so they can just be usable all the time for everything. I don't like switching them back and forth because I'm cheap. I don't want to keep wasting the units. So I do my arena grind without them. A big enough roster where it's not necessarily terrible. Alright, let's skip ahead a group here. So you can see Deadpool. Yeah, I mean, I think the Assassin, I think the Suicides definitely could have come in handy for it. I don't know if it'd been worth using the resources to have maxed it out for it. Maybe. I don't know. I think you... Maybe. You get every champion pretty much the same way, just by getting lucky. So... Or wait till they come up in the arena, and then try to grind for them in the arena. Normally, if you can try to figure out over time about how many points you can score, and then most alliances require you have line chat. There's a really good tool on there called MCOC Infobot. There's a bunch of different versions, but that's the one I use the most. You can get all the arena cutoffs and stuff in there, so you have an idea about how many points you would need to get. Once you get a big enough roster, you can grind for guys. When Deadpool 2 comes out, there will probably be... I expect him to be in the arena, but I would expect the cutoffs for him to be really, really high. So, because he's not an actual available champion, the red Deadpool. The white Deadpool, you just kind of have to get lucky on him when you open crystals. I wouldn't doubt it if when Deadpool 2 comes out, if they put DPX, Deadpool X-Force, into the arena too. Put him in there for a little bit. Right now what I'm doing, I'm working on both of the arenas. I'm pretty sure off the first arena, I think Vulture went for like 1.2 or 1.3, something like that, million. So I need to try to get there. About 1.1 million, so I'm definitely plenty close enough. And then Captain America went for like 2.3 or something like that. As I would say, Russell, it depends on who exactly you're using. If you're using all of your Mystic Champions solely on defense, then yes. I use Dr. Voodoo a lot on offense, so I only like it at rank 3. Otherwise, I can't use his L1. If I would put it up to 4, 2-point different cap, yeah, it'll be something pretty easy. Something easily attainable. I'm more than... Well, I'm not necessarily more than on my way, but I'm on my way to getting there. I'm going to have to try a little bit here. It won't be too bad. Yeah, I feel like I'll probably want to do, to be safe, I'd like to put up a little over 3 million for him. But I'm just going to awaken him, so I mean, if I don't get there, I don't get there. I'm not going to beat myself up too much over it. Be nice, but it's not necessarily essential. I don't know if I have any room on my friends list right now, Rich. You could try to add me if you wanted to. Name in-game is spelled the exact same as it's spelled in the channel. I'm not sure right offhand if there's any room in there. I try to go through and clean it out every couple of weeks or so, but I'm definitely not very good about cleaning it out. I don't do a whole lot of in-game messaging, so. But I do like to try to keep it open, so if people do want to, they can. Yeah, it's one of those things, Russell, kind of you got to look at what exactly you're doing, who you're using, and if you think you're going to be able to use them correctly. I mean, if the whole point is with the Magics, I mean, yeah, 4 might be really good, 5 might be really good too. I mean, if especially if you're going to use them both on like defense, then Mystic Dispersion rank 5 is really good. If they're your main offense, I'm not sure if that's too much for her. Thinking too much. I don't think there's a huge difference between whether you use her L1 or her L2. Her L2 might be a lot better. With Dr. Voodoo, though, the majority of the time I need to use his L1. I don't really want to use his L2. It's pretty rare. I think I actually really want to use his L2. You know, some people don't like it that way. Some people like to start with his L2 and then start spamming his L1. But normally if I can do any poison damage, then I want to use him. So I want to use his L1. I like using him to cancel out like regenerations and stuff like that, so I don't want to be stuck on his L2, not able to use his L1. So for me, 3 is where I'm going to leave it at, but with the Magics, 4 is probably a really good idea. 5 might even be a really good idea too. And if you run dual Magic on defense, maybe throw some Juggernauts in there if you can. Just have your defense be ridiculous. Would Joe fix it? I played with Joe Fixes a long time. Basically, I would just use his special 2 all the time. Every once in a while, if it's towards the very end of the fight, I might use his L1. But I like using his L2. It seemed to normally tear people up pretty good. Very few champions who are stun immune, so I think I have my deep wounds at like 3 or something like that too, so that winds up not being too bad. I should have been charging up more of those critical. No, it's not working as well against him anyways. So he just keeps dispelling it. Alright. Yes, sorry, Rich. You can try back in a couple days. Maybe I can try to clean some of it out later. Come on! Oh, bueno at all. Ay, ay, ay. No. Too much time trying to read the chat. Not enough time trying to play. It's alright. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Is Mr. LT, is he the super fun gaming family or whatever they are? Guys who always do the crystal openings where they jump around and super energetic. I think that's who that is. I don't really watch the super gaming family too much. They're kind of not quite my speed and style. But I think that's who that is. Remember when he left? One of those his videos are, I think, are all specifically designed more for like kids, and a lot of the older people in the gaming community aren't quite as interested. I don't think I'm quite in his key demographic. I'm 36. Not about to spam him with hate mail like other people were doing, but I don't think I'm about to spam anybody with any kind of hate mail, but big fat butt, are you in my alliance? Don't really know what anybody's name is in there on YouTube. I keep all mine simple. My name's the same everywhere, so I know who I am. You know, there are a couple guys in my alliance who have who mentioned they've been watching before, but I don't know what any of their names are here on YouTube. I guess most likely probably Zane. Because I think CT Wood's at work. Yeah, Testies used to come here all the time at work though too. So, oh, this fight's not going well. Oh, that did not go good. Wasn't aware there was actually a girl in our lines. Not that it's, you know, it necessarily matters one way or other. How much I like the game out of 10? As a guy who's habitually played 3 to 4 games a year over the last 30 years, so 3 to 4 games at a time over the last 30, 40 years, this is the only game I've been playing for probably the last 6 months or so. I'd have to rate the game probably pretty high. Wait, no, I go all. Yeah, big fat butt. If you want some tips, I've got some pretty in-depth fighting tips written out on notes. Watching me playing right now on live streaming is probably not the best way to try to learn how to play. This is probably me playing about as bad as I possibly can. I don't know. I might have to rate the game maybe a 7 out of 10. I think before 12.0 I would have rated it a lot higher. Rich. But I think, see, that would have been like 4 or 6 months ago, something like that. One of the updates they did. I don't like a lot of the things they did in the update, and I still don't think I necessarily like a lot of the things that they had done in it. I think before they had patched like Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch, Black Widow and Thor and all them, I think the game was a lot more fun to play. Now I think I feel more like I'm stuck in the game because I'm so far in that I just don't feel like I can leave. And I love doing this YouTubing, so, I don't know. I don't think it's as much fun as it was before. I'd like it very much if they would go back and make Doctor Strange a lot more fun to play. I don't think there is a champion in the game now who is as much fun to play as he used to be. I think everybody in the game now kind of plays a little too mechanical, and they're just not as much enjoyable. I mean, there's a couple things I really like. I like Punisher's L2 a lot. I think that's pretty cool. That's kind of starting to wear off on me a little bit, though. I like playing with Loki, I guess. He's probably one of the guys who's actually still fun to play with, but he's not very strong, so he's only really good for arena. I like playing with Howard the Duck, I guess, in the arena, but I wouldn't really want to, like, quest with him. But I don't think they have as many champions who are just as fun to use as they used to be. So I wouldn't rate it as high as I would have rated it before. I still don't think I'm about to play another game, but alright, I know who you are then. I think I already sent you my tips for fighting then. I think in the, in there then, I think. Yeah. In the private messaging. I do everything pretty much very block heavy. I think that works pretty well. I don't actually have Wolverine. But yeah, for AQ, I try to use my Guillotine and my Dr. Voodoo. which is nice because I have both of them. But I mean, pretty much any 2 Mystic champions who heal are good, but running 2 Mystics isn't necessarily that great because then there's certain lanes I really can't run. And then my third one, I've been bringing in Captain America World War II just so I get higher block proficiency so I take less damage. Yeah, he is definitely pretty overpowered. He's pretty easy to use too. Like I was trying to decide, I had him and Ghost Rider, and I was ranking them both up kind of the same time, trying to decide who to use first. Ghost Rider's supposed to be better in Alliance Quest, but he's a lot harder to use. There's too much stuff I'm trying to pay attention to. Rogue is really good for Alliance Quest 2. I don't have her awakened yet. I decided to awaken my Iceman instead, because he'll have more versatility and use with him. Which I think is a pretty good idea. Kind of okay with it. I still kind of wish I'd have done... my Rogue, but... I don't want to wind up having all healing regeneration champs and then not having anyone who's going to do mass damage or anyone who has any kind of immunity. But getting used to timing on things really helps. Yeah, I don't think you're that bad. I think your biggest problem is that you're just not using any regeneration champs. And I remember from looking at what you had been doing before, it just kind of makes it a lot harder. You see, like, you can tell from my fighting right now, like, I'm not super awesome, amazing. I think I'm a pretty average player. A lot of times I'll do like 3-4 hits and then try to bait out their special. Sometimes trying to bait out their special, I'll just get blocked and punched in the face. Come on. That's not good. Yeah, I just awakened my Hyperion before I went on vacation, so I haven't had a whole lot of chance to use him since I awakened him. That one stunk. If I could have just gotten made out a special there a little bit, that'd have been just fine. Could have tried to run him over, I guess, and just let him hit me with his special. I was at full health. It might have worked better. Yeah, I'm definitely nowhere near where like CT is with his Hyperion. Yeah, I rely on pairing quite a bit too. I think it helps. As long as you don't get stuck going down the immunity path, you're just fine. I can't do the immunity path for anything. If I have to do the immunity path, I'm pretty much guaranteed to have to use a revive. Part of that is having the right champs to do the path. Not a big fan either of us paying to run map 5 days a week and then we go and run map 3. It's kind of a little disappointing to me. Just not a big fan of map 3 at all. I think it's just kind of a waste of time. We didn't get any points out of it really. Map 3 crystal's not going to do anybody any good. That's just one of my own personal gripes. I think we kick entirely too many people too quickly, too. It'd be nice if we held on to guys a little bit longer and maybe tried talking to them about what exactly we wanted them to do differently. Instead of just super fast to the band hammer. I don't think it does as well to build team unity when you're constantly working with different guys. I'd rather kept running map 5. I think I don't see a real reason for us to be running anything else. I haven't played map 4 on the new season since probably before the update, since before 12.0, or since, no, would have been before, would have been season 4 probably. Yes, I haven't even played map 4 yet. I don't like the way map 3 is laid out anymore. One of the biggest reasons I don't like it. I'd like to just see map 5 every day. We pay to run map 5 times a week, so I don't know why we're not running it 5 times a week. But yeah, I don't like the way map 3 is laid out with some of the different fights. I went in, I'd already put my team in there and didn't realize that we were on a different map, so I didn't bring in a different team. So I brought in my map 5 team. Wasn't really properly prepared to run any of the lanes there. Not that I would have necessarily changed things up a whole lot, but I would have liked to have brought in a little bit more diversity. How's it going, Raj? And Damien? Sure, I can show you my masteries real quick. I don't want to spend too much time doing too much messing around, but masteries aren't too hard to do. Let's get my mouse ready here real quickly so I can discuss kind of what I did and why and how and all that. So basically, you want 15 in the front. I'm not a real big fan of this one. There's certain spots where it's good, but for the most part, I don't like having it on because I don't think I should get a benefit for playing poorly. I don't believe I should ever really get below 50% health. So I think it's kind of a waste to put a spot in there. And then I'm working on maxing out these two right now. They're kind of expensive-ish, so and I probably could work on them a little bit harder right now if I wanted to, but I don't really see much to see the point. I have 2 carbon cores. I just need the stone mastery cores to go along with them, so I just need the cheaper, easy ones. How's it going, Marvelous? Let's see here, and then I need to remember. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of up here. Normally I have some in Gauze Cannon. I'm not even sure where I pulled those out and put them into right offhand. Defense, a lot of the same thing. It's 15 points in the front. I decided to max out Stand Your Ground because I have a hard time when the fight starts. Sometimes if the computer's going to do a heavy, a lot of times I start each fight with a parry or try for the block. So I do that, and then I've got 3 here. This is essentially the same thing as if I'd have all 3 points here. I messed up when I was doing it because my friend who I copied, he showed me the screen like this, so I assumed that was maxed and that was maxed. So I have 3 in Coagulate just because I think bleed can kill you entirely too quickly. This is how I have it laid out in here. I prefer to go a little parry or heavy. I have 3 for Mystic Dispersion because I think that works best for Dr. Voodoo. And then I have a Science Detection for Alliance War that I may not necessarily need anymore. I mean, I don't remember the last time I really saw Spider-Man in war, but I think it kind of helps me out a little bit. So that's kind of what I run, how and why. I have a video in there and kind of a progression, what order I think you should be going in, what you're playing. If you look back at my noob training videos. Let's see, what do we got going on in here? Is this just all random stuff? Give help real quickly, because that's what good alliance people do. It's always good to have this on films. People say, we'll see you doing it. Remind them to do it. Help out your teammates. It helps out a lot. Be nice if they'd come up with a way to mainstream it a little bit more, but... How did the teams work then? You go there. Some slight changes. I opened, was it like 12 4-stars right before I went on vacation, so my teams did change up a little bit. I was able to rank 2 guys up to rank 5. So everybody just kind of slid and moved around a little bit. Yeah, arenas, I mean, you got to figure out kind of like how much time you have and what you're able to put in. I would say definitely do the T4 basic arena every single time, and then kind of work it out from there. Like, I have a weird schedule. I work nights, and it's Sunday through Friday with like a rotating day off. So a lot of times I get like a random day off in the middle of the week, and I can normally get a pretty decent chunk done then. So... makes it a lot easier. I'm a big fan too of just doing the minimum requirements to hit the milestones in each one, just because you get pretty good rewards. I'm gonna go for Black Spider Cable. Actually, I just got back from vacation, so I haven't even looked at the calendar in a while. What does the calendar look like? If Cable's going to be cheap enough, I'll probably go for Cable. Black Spidey, if he's going to be a featured, I think I'd go for him. If he's going, or not featured, if he's going to be a basic, I'd go for Black Spidey. I don't think if he's a featured, I'd go for him, because that's going to be too much. I may interfere too much with work. My favorite guys, though, are like the ones right now, like Captain America should be. I actually like the guys who go a little less probably than Captain America. Like the 2 million guys, those are my favorites. Is Black Spidey supposed to be the next featured then, probably, with Cable? Let's see, that first round. Bring the calendar over here in a minute. I finish this one. This over to here, and then we will go display 1, transition over. This should kind of work. Yeah, I think that works. So where are we right now? We're right over here somewhere in the calendar. So I'm assuming Cosmic Spider-Man is going to run with Cable. So that first one I probably won't do any of them. I'll probably just do the T4 basic and get some points. In that second one, I guess I'll wait to see how much Cable went for in the first one. So I may go for Cable in the second one. Yeah, because I won't have another day off till Saturday right now. So next week I'm going to take a wild guess. I'll probably have off on Tuesday. So then I may go for Cable then. We'll see how many points he goes for and all that. Probably go for him at that spot. X23, I may want to go for the first run with item usage. I know we're not going to get another T4 basic for a while, so that might be easier. I kind of plan it all out. I tend to look at the calendar quite a lot to figure out who I want to go for and when I want to go for them and all that. I think it makes things easier. I did not just close that out, did I? I can't close it out. If I close it out, then I can't reference it anymore. But yeah, because I have a weird schedule, I tend to kind of look at it like that. When do I have the day off, and who do I want to go for when? I'm not 100% sure right now if I'm going to be able to get Captain America or not. I want to make sure 100% I get Vulture. So I'm getting Captain America will just be a bonus if I can do that as well. I think I can, though. I don't think it's necessarily going to be that hard for me to do. Yeah, I would have tried to work to complete Master Mode while we're on item usage. Because it tends to line up pretty well there. I don't know if there's anything that specifically that was really that hard. I did not like the last stage at all. The last stage needed entirely way too much energy in my mind to do. That last stage felt like it took me forever. I just try to work on it slowly. Same thing I'm kind of doing with Act 4. You know, I'm going to work on it at my own pace. You know, right now, because I'm already done with I'm done with Master Mode. I didn't complete that Spidey Tech Challenge. I don't think I'm going to. I may spend some time practicing it and working on it later if I feel like it, but... Because it definitely didn't seem like it was that bad. I don't think I have a whole lot of items left. I might still be able to do it. It may not be too hard. I don't have any units at the moment either, so I don't want to try a whole lot of things. Just bringing a good mixture of champions. I don't know if there's anything in there that was really all that hard. I mean, Vulture is just trying to get used to his timing and all that, you know. So, if I get in there and get to him while I was all focused in, I could one-time him with Star-Lord or Dr. Voodoo. But if I try and going at him while I was really tired, then it would take a lot of items. You have to have him to revive, so... Definitely better trying to be awake while I was doing it than going at while I'm too tired, but... Always playing way too tired. No, I haven't even started Act 5 yet. I figured I'd clear Act 2 first. Or not Act 2. I need to clear Act 4. I figure I'll clear that first, and then I'll get in there eventually. I don't like that they're improving the crystal right now and just trying to make it. It looks like a giant money grab for the whole thing. Get everyone who's spending money on units to try to have guys doing it before they should be. I haven't been playing for the whole time since the game started. I've been playing for like 14 months or something like that, so I'm cheap. I'd rather wait and do stuff when it's easier. I'm not going to have to spend units and items and all that, or spend a minimum amount of units and items. I think I might be able to complete the whole Spidey Tech thing. My whole fear is going to be if I get in there and I get really tired on a certain match, and I know like I've got to get all my units out of there, I've got to get my champions out of there so they can go into like Alliance War, Alliance Quest, and I start getting real tired and I'm not able to like take a nap or something. I get stuck on like one node and it winds up costing me too much. But I might be able to do it pretty easily right now because I could go through. Yeah, I don't have Daredevil or Vision. So, how's it going? The one and only? Well, I have Daredevil right here, but he's not awakened yet, so. It's not pretty hard. I did have a generic Awakened Stone. I was pretty tempted to use it on him. I wound up going for my Iceman instead. Yeah, Spidey Quest I think I can. I'll get to it when I feel like it. I was Still got a little bit of time. Yeah, I was kind of hoping. I did a huge 4-star crystal opening about a week ago, right before I went on vacation. And it would have been pretty nice if I could have awakened my Daredevil. Instead, I awakened Black Panther Civil War. I duped him twice, so I decided to make him rank 5 instead. Kind of jumped everybody else. I figured he'd be an alright, dedicated defender. I think we're in like, for war, I think we're in like 3 or 4, tier 3 or 4, so you just start trying to get more R5s in there on my defense. It should start getting pretty close though. It's I think I've got a decent amount now. Still not quite at 12 or 13, however many it is I need. But I'm getting there. I had 5, so I think I have 7 R5s now. I don't have any awakened 5-stars yet. So I don't feel like I have a ton of real need to be overly forcing myself to 100% Act 4 yet. So I'm just kind of still working on it slow. I might. We'll see how many. I want to say I'm at about 8,000 5-star shards right now. So I just opened 2 a little bit ago. When that been? Probably about a month ago. I think I opened 2 5-stars, which brought me up to 8. And I got Ant-Man and Pillow Hands. On July 4th, I would have opened them. So, I haven't tried for a featured 5-star yet. 5-star Iceman would do me good, though. I do have a 5-star Mutant Awaken gem. So, that could be interesting. That, and then I could have an R5 Iceman and a nice 5-star Iceman. I could start working on bringing up. Yeah, most of the science champions in the game right now are pretty terrible. There's some that are good. I think one of the biggest things they're going to start working on next, I think they're going to give us a couple Mystic champions who are intentionally terrible. And then give us a couple science champions who are pretty good, now that they have the number of champions in each class a lot closer. I think they'll work on balancing out the strength of each class a little bit more. Does it matter then who goes against who? Yeah, I think Ant-Man's cool once you duplicate him, but I mean, he's still, even once you duplicate him, like, he can be a good defender. Like, he may not be too bad. I would think on something, I don't know, Thorns or like a bleed over time or something like that, but he's still not necessarily like, that's like super amazing. I like Iron Patriot better for arena fodder. I don't think I have a problem with him for arena fodder. I like him a lot more than most guys. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't use him for, like, you know, questing or any of the Alliance stuff. I don't think I'd really use Ant-Man for it either. Now, I'll probably be able to start setting up pretty soon, though, too. Actually, probably not pretty soon. I'm not too far off, though, for when I start doing LOL. I do have Ant-Man and Yellow Jacket in the 4 stars, and I have an Ant-Man in the 5 star to boost my strength to reduce the enrage timer. So I think it's nice that they at least have a real spot there. Yellow Jacket can be a pretty good defender too. I definitely like Yellow Jacket on defense more than I would like Ant-Man on defense. Yeah, I think he's still better for arena fodder than a lot of other guys. I don't think Iron Patriot is as bad as he gets a rep for. I think almost all of the 5 stars they just brought in are significantly worse than Iron Patriot is. I think I'd totally rather have Iron Patriot than Pillow Hands or Kamala Khan or even than Groot. I'd rather have a duped Iron Patriot over a duped Spider-Gwen as well. I think White Magneto is probably the worst champion in the game that I can figure out. I think Spider-Gwen's at least got some uses. I don't know. I don't have don't really have much of a usable Spider-Gwen. I just have the 3 star, and she just, I don't know. My bias is more pre 12.0 than it is post 12.0. I don't know how good she actually is anymore. Is it you and Beast? Right? Yep. Yep. But I think a lot of the reason that Iron Patriot gets as much hate as he did is because for a long time he was the worst possible 5 star that you could get, which, I mean, I think he's still alright, but having that specific kind of laid on you like that though does make it a lot more for people to be disliking you. But I don't think he's as bad as he gets credit for. I think he'll get a little bit more love coming up here. As more people draw more terrible guys who are far worse, you know. I don't mind Hulkbuster either for arena fodder. I think he can be useful for arena fodder. I use him on Alliance War defense for a long time at 4 star. I think I'd rather probably have an Iron Patriot than a Hulkbuster, but still think he's better than a lot of the other guys they just put in too. I think White Magneto is probably the worst. He doesn't do enough damage. Specials aren't really reliable. You know, you don't necessarily get the bleed. He doesn't always have his magnetize up. He doesn't overall have enough utility. He doesn't have anything about him that where in a fight you're necessarily it's gonna help you win. Whereas I think like Red Mags, I love Red Mags quite a lot. Used him for a long time. He was one of my first duped 4 stars. All right, take it easy, Raj. Yeah, I just got my Quake. She's one of the champions I got a week ago. I haven't awakened stoned for her, so she'll be awakened, and she's probably going to be my next rank 4. I should be able to get her up to rank 5, hopefully pretty soon, as I already have 2 science T4 class catalysts, so got a couple guys I want to take up to rank 4, and then I should be able to go a little bit more aggressively to rank her up. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I could use the stones on her, I guess, during item usage, but we were already so far over. I figured I would save them for the next science advancement. I even looked to see what the totals were for item usage. Like, I didn't do anything until after we had already won item usage, but I'm pretty sure that, I got to be really far in first place. I used like 100 arena boosts yesterday. And I used quite a couple stones. I'm pretty sure they had a mutant advancement going on during item usage, during a level up event. And I think that's when I took up my Iceman to rank 5 and put like 60 stones into him. That jerk. Yeah, Civil War's reflective armor is why I decided to make him a rank 5 Alliance War defense, because right there, even like, I wasn't even trying to block, I was just trying to back away from him. I've had a lot of times in war where trying to back away from him, he winds up clipping me. It winds up counting as a parry. And then while I'm stunned, he hits me with the special and he tears me up, so I think he can be a pretty good defender. Just because he can be a little bit tricky. Yeah, I'm kind of used to finishing there like everywhere for Alliance stuff. I'm not used to just barely covering the top. But if I'd have been on vacation, I think it'd have gone the other way. I'd have put all my points in on the front end, which would have made it easier for other guys to think and to save more for later. But let's see. Let's see this. I wish they would redo that too, though, to make it so it was a little bit better for when we score it higher. I think those rewards should be a little bit more. It seems to be a little bit almost dated in what they're giving you. I was pretty tempted too to use my generic Awakened Stone. Yeah, a lot of times I'll look at things and once we hit a certain point, I may not use anything anymore, kind of depending on what the different things are that are up in the game. I really wanted to try to go for both champions here in the arena, go for the 3-star featured and 4-star basic. So I wanted to use all my arena boosts on it. So. And I could have saved them all for another later point in time, but I figured I'd rather go high. But normally for like SA, I'll look at it too, Once we hit 400,000 points for Summoner Advancement, I normally don't like putting any more into it. Then I'll normally try saving everything for next week. But I want to be at like that 400,000 mark each week if we can. But then a lot of times too, it comes down to just like what are the solo events and the team events that are up. How can I optimize my points out of it and get as much done as I can with them? Like one of the ones I really wish they would give out more for was quest completion. Because I think I could score 450,000 in quest completion by myself if I really wanted to. But the reward for it would be so minimal that it's just not even... It's not even remotely worth it. It's not worth really going over. And there's still sometimes I do. It kind of depends on what I need. If I need a ton of like ISO 8, I don't mind rerunning it multiple times. And the fast lane on... in hard modes, that'd be heroic. Run the lane right down the middle. Normally I run the lane that has the 4-star chest. I don't even care if it's the most energy efficient one because I think it gives me the best overall return. So even if I'm using, I know they had one like, I think it was not this month's but last month's. The middle lane actually cost you like 2 more energy than the outside lane, but the outside lane had like a 2-star chest and the middle lane had a 4-star chest, so I kept running the middle lane instead because I thought that was going to be better for me. Yeah, Act 4 is going to take a long time. I'm still working on Act 4 too. That's kind of what I'm doing in the background. I still have to 100% Part 3 and Part 4. I'd probably be working a lot harder right now if I wasn't going for both champs in the arena, but I think what I'm doing right now will probably pay off better for me. So let's put you there. We'll go Bleed Immune against their Bleeder. And then, because I get the 1 class advantage, I'll go there. Old Man Logan against Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch shouldn't be too much to deal with here. She's not awakened yet, so she should be pretty simple. Boom, boom. Yeah, I think there's a bunch of different ways you can do it. I don't think I think I beat him with like my Star Lord. I didn't even go at him with somebody who like stopped his regeneration. Like, I had other guys in there who I could have used, and I think I still just used my Star Lord instead because I got the class advantage. And I just beat him like that instead of using, you know, I had Guillotine or Dr. Voodoo, both of which could either cancel it out or reverse it. Oops, I was finger slipped a little bit. Looks like I'm lagging a little bit. I'm at full power. Yeah, if you have a really strong Doctor Strange and you're really good at him, you probably could. I mean, I think you can still just like run over him if you bring in somebody who does mass damage. Doctor Strange might be hard because he's not really going to hit hard enough anymore, but Like I think you have a Thor, so you could probably line that up right, get like 2 armor breaks, and then use the specials. Keep trying to line it up something like that. You could probably take him out like that, I would think. Should be able to just run him over. Like Civil Warrior, he could be pretty good too, because I think with his heavy, he can put a heal block down. Almost any Mystic champion will probably be pretty good. Who's the new Pillow Hands? I thought Punisher 99 is called Pillow Guns via iMac. Yeah, she should still be able to, with her, I'm not sure if it's her L1 or L2, because I don't have a magic, but I think, I want to say I think with her L1 and her L2, I think she'll cancel out whatever buffs somebody is using, and then I think one of them gives you energy burn, and I think one of them gives you like energy block or something. Can't remember right offhand, but yeah, she'd probably work pretty well. Doctor Strange's new Pillow Hands. Yeah, I think Doctor Strange, I just call him a giant paperweight. I don't think he's, his usefulness, he went from being like the best champion in the game to now he's just like, ah. I still really like him, kind of, like, I don't know, but he only really gets play for me in Arena. Every once in a great while he may get into some, questing, but actually I started putting him on Alliance War Defense. I'm hearing a lot of guys saying good things about him on an Unblockable 2. I don't think he's necessarily that great in there, but he might be good on that specific node. So I've been putting him on Unblockable 2. Let's see. Solo events are always completely random. And I think during the last level up event, did Mystic Advancement go through on it? I would say it's probably going to be 2 to 3 days before we see either one of them again. They don't always line up. Normally when level up comes up, I wait and I'm real patient with it. So I don't normally finish level up until there's like an hour or 2 left. And I'll wait to see what class advancements line up with it, kind of depending on how much time I have. Like if I know I'm about to go to bed and I'm probably going to sleep for 8 hours, I may just finish up whatever leveling up I have to do at that time. But like at the beginning, if we're to start right now, I know I have until the end of it to see which class advancements come up, you know, because I think they're all like 6 or 8 hours, something like that. So normally you get 3 different advancements during it, or you have the potential to get up to 3 advancements, and I'll kind of wait to see which ones I get. But I would say probably the next 2 to 3 days you should see one of them come up. I don't know if you'll see them both line back up again, though. But they're random, so they kind of come up whenever they feel like it, which can be frustrating sometimes. So yeah, I'll throw Wolverine in here. I I don't remember which classes lined up with the last class advancement either, though, or the last level up. I want to say there's a few. I've done so much leveling up the last couple of days. Pretty sure Mutant did, because I think I did a video for Mutant. That might have been, was that yesterday, though? 2 days ago? I don't even remember when they came up. It's a completely random though, so it's a little obnoxious for the solo events. Alliance events are on a set schedule, but solo events kind of come and go as they feel like it, so it's a little more rough to try to properly plan around those for when you want to do things. The last several advancements, though, man, I tore them up pretty good. I got top 1 to 10%. Almost all of them. Leveling up, I was a little more disappointed, though. I don't think I got quite as far in leveling up as I thought I was going to. Leveling up, I only made it up a couple of brackets. I have 8 5-stars right now at the moment. None of them are awakened. So most of them are at rank 2. I had the 2 that I got about a month ago that I got on July 4th. They're both still at rank 1. Alright, take it easy, big fat butt. Because I'm not done with the other one yet, I'll go back and run this one here for a little bit. Try to make sure I get enough points in this one. Yeah, still got a couple items in there from item usage right at the end. Set it up before I went to bed. Yeah, I think the only real way to be able to beat Spider-Man Stark Tech Enhanced is to be able to get that heavy in there pretty quickly. I think it gets a little too rough. What's up, Terrell Brown? I think it may be a while before they introduce the Tier 5 basics. Because I don't think they're going to know how to properly balance the game out then. They already have a lot of issues with it. But I'm sure they're going to sell them for a lot of money once they decide they want to start rolling them out. Would assume for probably the first year the only way to get them will probably be to buy them. They probably won't even give you a way to earn them. Because they're jerks like that. Boom, ba-doom. Boom, boom, ba-doom. Let's see here. Stations. Do I have any cutoffs in here? Do I need to retype it? If I need to retype it. Nope. Oops, let me came up here. Let's see, so the featured Spider-Man or Vulture went for about 11 million. Cap World War II, 2.8. Featured 1.2. More than on my way here. I want to get there here first, and then I'll go back to throwing all my 3 stars into the other arena. Yeah, I don't know exactly how I feel about Doctor Strange as a defender. I started putting him on an unblockable too, so we'll see how he goes. I wasn't able to see in my last one how we actually did. Alright, I'll duel you after I finish this fight, sir. That might have been a bad idea. I think I should have had Mordo go against Black Panther. Because if I charge Mordo's attack up by holding down the heavy, it's likely to give Magic a ton more power and energy and increase her amount to limbo. Yeah, all of the solo events are random. They'll tend to fall a little more than once a week, but they're all random. I think they've become more random now than they used to be, because it used to be still they would make sure all 6 of the advancements ran before they started rerunning them, and now I think they just have it 100% random, where you can have the same class can run like back to back before you get the next one. I want to say they changed that in 14.0 without telling anybody. I think we're on 14.0. I was trying to figure that out earlier. I was trying to look around and see what version of the game we're on right now. Pretty sure we're on 14.0. That worked out pretty well. Wasn't expecting it to work out quite that well. I may have to worry about all those. I'm sure that's Fury or critical hit, but I didn't have to worry about those all wearing out. She wasn't even duped. Didn't matter. Oh wait, I was going to go back and I was going to duel Myriads. M-I-R-E-T search. So we should do this magic one here. Well, I guess for fun, I've been doing all the Stark Enhanced Spider-Man. So we'll stick with this. But I don't really know how to use Spider-Man yet, which I guess is part of the reason I've been using him for duels. So I can figure out how to use them, so we'll see how this goes. Range on that's not that good. Well, that works quite interesting with her, the AI's done with her limbo. Ah. I never really realized that with her. She can completely bypass recoil with her limbo. That's kind of cool. We'll get help. Let's see, I don't think I got anything actually in here. Maybe I do. I definitely don't need to get sick. My wife's been pretty sick here for a couple days. Hopefully I'm not getting it. All my teams pretty much figured out by synergies. You're on the same teams so many times over and over again. It gets a lot easier to figure out. My 4-star teams are a little bit more messed up right now because I've had some changes in there recently. 3-star teams have pretty much stayed the same. A couple new guys in there. I mean, it's not too hard to figure them out. Get them worked into a team. I don't think I have an actual team yet though for like my hood or my new Spider-Man, but that team will work out pretty easily. When I get Vulture, it'll probably be new Spider-Man, Vulture, and Hood, just because I don't have anywhere else to put him. Optimize out my synergies everywhere else. Still don't really know what to make of the new Vulture yet. I don't know if he's actually any good. I know he's definitely not any good on defense. Because if he's the boss, all super jacked up, he shouldn't be able to be one-timing him as many times as I do. I'm going to fight him in the hardest possible format and have him still be so easy. His animation is going to be the only real rough thing about him. Like, I don't think Ghost Rider is necessarily a really good defender, but I think he was kind of a good defender when he came out, just because nobody knew his animation. I think Archangel can be a pretty good defender too, but I think more of that's got to do with the fact that he's really good. I think people still struggle a little bit with his animation at times because they haven't necessarily fought him a whole lot. No, I fight him quite a bit in Alliance Quest, so I think I've got his animation down pretty good. I'm used to going at him too. I was fighting him with Star-Lord for a long time too, so I couldn't afford to get hit. Eventually I switched over to Ultron, which makes it a lot easier, but who wants to do things the easy way? Make my one class advantage. I'm not saying a whole lot else in there I really need to worry about, I think. Not to say I don't miss things all the time while I'm trying to line them up. Just going to want the fights to go as fast as possible and as easy as possible. That's why I'm picking easy. The easier fights. I don't need to have long, drawn-out battles each time. The longer the fight goes, the more it keeps on increasing the chances that you can wind up getting clipped. I've been playing for probably about 14 months or so. Maybe 15 months. I didn't really learn how to fight until... it might have been after the beginning of the year. Yeah, it was probably well after the beginning. I don't think I learned how to fight, though, until, like, February. I was already, like, level 60, and I might have had a 200,000 point score before I learned how to fight. Just from playing consistently. I wasn't able to find good resources for a long time to learn how to get better. The guys in my alliance weren't necessarily super helpful in whatever alliances I had randomly been in. Guys would just say things like, don't get hit, and it's like, well, it's not really good advice, you know? I mean, it's kind of generic. It doesn't really explain, like, how you're getting hit or anything like that. And then got an alliance with Attila. He did a good job teaching me. No, I just had these shirts made. They were available for order. I think they became unavailable to order a couple days ago. But these are my shirts. I had a couple of them, bought some, and available for anyone else to buy who wanted to buy them. But I got them. MCOC Horsky Squad official check-in shirts. Got my name on the bottom, my YouTube channel name on the top, YouTube channel on the bottom. I think they came out pretty well. A bunch of guys were like, oh, go ahead and make them. I want to buy one. I want to buy one. And who knew a bunch of guys playing a free video game were all cheap? No, I didn't really think I was really going to sell that many of them, but I bought a couple for myself. I think they look pretty cool. Kind of happy with how they came out. But yeah, the picture on my shirt is actually a picture of the back wall. That says Horsky Squad. Let's see. This is the logo on it. I think it's pretty cool. Didn't quite work out as well as I wanted. The shirt got printed a little bit darker, so you can't necessarily read the check or the shirt, but it was all right. My first attempt at making a shirt, so I'm not wasn't too disappointed in it. I thought it came out pretty nice. Like most of what I'm doing in the channel, I'm really doing all of this for me, and if you guys enjoy it too, that's awesome. We try to do this with the general idea that I would be my key demographic. I want to entertain guys like me, older guys who don't want to play a game they're going to put less than 100 hours into. Part of the only reason I play this game is because this is the only game I really enjoy playing right now. If I enjoyed playing something else, I'd probably play something else, but I just don't see me necessarily enjoying anything else. Yeah, those are all Halloween props that me and my wife have used. I actually put that up on the wall before I started my YouTubing, just because I thought it would look cool on the wall. And then when I started doing the YouTubing, I had the camera pointing at me, and I looked at it and said, wow, actually, if I can catch my wall there in the background, that would probably be a pretty slick looking angle. Just kind of worked out well by accident. Found all the YouTubing back in like January, and I think by February I started my YouTubing. Do suffer at times with consistency on this, trying to come back at the same times. So sometimes I'll do this at night after work, and sometimes I'll do it in this time slot during the day. I'm in one or the other. So at some point I may be in both, but this is one of those things that is kind of funny though, because there's a set of guys who are normally available during the day, and a set of guys who are normally available in the late night, early morning. So two separate audiences for basically the same thing. And then there's guys who are always in both, you know. Guys like Aaron Hoodie Lover, who's always on. You know, I told myself a couple weeks ago I wasn't going to grind for any champions. I was going to start really reducing how much I was doing it, so I could start spending more time, you know, with the wife and all that. And then we came back from vacation yesterday, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go for 2 guys right now. Which can wind up being, no, sometimes can be pretty bad. If we didn't have item usage, it would have been really bad. But I don't think I even put any points into Captain America until I had over like 800,000 in the Vulture Arena already. But I feel like I need a heavy arena grind so I can farm as many units as I can. Help me out for like AQ and Alliance War. Had a pretty good last week too, not blowing through all of my units and all of my items. I was off drinking in Wisconsin, and I played quite a bit while I was drinking. A lot of fights did not really quite go my way. I was at the rehearsal dinner and tried moving for Alliance Quest, and the bride came up and sat down right next to me, and I'm like, okay, maybe I should stop playing here for a minute. I think I'll take the 10 levels less over the class advantage. I should have 10 less mastery points. A little too aggressive there at the end. I'm going for the 3-star Vulture and the 4-star Captain America. I think I should be able to pull off both. I had off yesterday, so I scored about 1,000,000 points in both of them yesterday. So Vulture I'll have for sure. Captain America will be a lot closer. If I can get out of work early tonight, it'll be a lot easier for me to pull it off. We're officially in slow season at my work, so it may not be too hard for me to pull it off. I don't even know what day of the week it is. I should know. I haven't even started work yet. It's Tuesday, I think. So I used a couple of vacation days here in the beginning of the week. So I have time to recover from being out of town drinking all weekend. How's it going, Superman versus Green Lantern? Alright, yeah. That's right. Out of these guys, I guess I would say I think Rogue is probably my strongest. I think Nightcrawler is probably my weakest for offense. I don't deal very well with trying to use guys like Nightcrawler who are constantly bouncing around. That's terrible. I use her special one because I know she can hit through the block. And then because he blocks it, he turns around and combos me and hits me for way more than I healed. No. That doesn't sound good. She's probably dead. I don't think I've seen Quickshot do any YouTubing. I have to check that out if he's playing. I don't think I've ever seen him. Yeah, I've tried streaming a couple times while I was drunk. It's if I get like one drink in me, it's normally kind of entertaining because I loosen up a little bit more, so I don't have any like social anxiety, so I have an easier time talking the whole time. I mean, my play level definitely goes way down, but definitely don't like doing it if I'm trying to do like master mode or like labyrinth or something like that, or like harder content. For arena, it's normally not too bad. Look up Quickshot real quick. Let's see if he'll come up under Quickshot MCOC. Yeah, there he is. So let's sub to Quickshot. I'll have to watch some of his later. You can show up in the recommended viewing and all that. I wish YouTube had a way to show me when I look at, if I could see any of my subscribers that are live without having to turn, 120 different notifications on. I have a couple nice things. I'm in a couple line chat groups with other YouTubers, which works out pretty well normally. Guys will post when they're going live. DPX will be a lot easier than ExtrmWill anyways. I don't have to worry as much about getting clipped. I think Guillotine will be the hardest one of them, so we'll put Archangel against her. Don't really fully know how to use Beast yet. I know he's got some weird mechanics to him as well. You can do like a whole bunch of different stuff that I'm not fully aware of. Well, Superman versus Green Lantern is another YouTuber. Getting his stream every once in a while. That worked out pretty nice. Right now, the other guys I tend to try to watch quite a bit. I watch the Evie Cliche in the Grand Scheme. They're probably the two other ones. If I log on, I see they're on, I'm less likely to start streaming, but I get Slice 'ems every once in a while. Normally at night, I try going on right after Slice 'em ends. Sometimes I'll go in, I guess, quite a bit before he ends or a bit after. Hop in there, see what he's talking about. If they're talking about something I particularly want to listen to, and I like the people he's got in there, I'll stay in longer. If he's got people in there who just don't seem to know what they're talking about, then I leave a little bit earlier, but this channel can be kind of cool sometimes. They take a very different angle on a lot of things. I tend to like sticking to the smaller ones though, so a lot of times, like if I will log on and there's like 3 people watching who I want to watch, I'll hop into whichever one is the least amount of people in it. Because then if I do have any questions or hilarious jokes, they're far more likely to be recognized. This will definitely be interesting. I should hopefully be able to win them all. Hey, buddy. Duck Stark just came in here, get a little bit of loving real quick, make sure I'm doing alright. Hey, John Wesley Thomas, how's it going? Now I'm just trying to finish off this Vulture Arena, and then I'll get back to Captain America World War II. I think I've been streaming for 2 hours, so all my 4 stars should be back. Right about. Yeah. Should all be back in there any minute. Hopefully I got some help from everyone in my alliance and they're all back. Well, somebody in my alliance was in here, so hopefully he was, or she was hitting the help button while she was in here. Was not aware she was a she. Assumed it was a dude. Unless I know otherwise, I assume everyone in my alliance is middle-aged white dude. Maybe a little bit younger. Maybe I think probably everyone's probably a little bit younger than me. Some of the guys I know are definitely my age. I guess in my head I still tend to think I'm probably a little bit younger than I am. Still kind of think I'm in my early 20s, even though I'm not. I'm probably closer to being in my late 30s. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. So use Carnage. I think Carnage goes with DPX, and then I think I bring in Moon Knight. Yeah, sounds right. And I'm not even going to care that Ultron's bleed immune. I think the class advantage should be good enough. I don't know how good of a bleed or Carnage really even is yet. I haven't seen him really do anything crazy or ridiculous with bleed or anything. It's kind of, so far he appears to be kind of mediocre arena fodder. really figured out too much of how to use them yet or anything, but I like bringing a lot of the newer guys in when I can into the arena. Helps me learn their animation better. Pay attention to what I think they do while fighting so I can learn to avoid some of those possible things on defense when fighting against them. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. I took my allergy pills like 2 hours ago. I feel like they're already wearing off. Fun times. Fun, fun times. I feel like that's the first time I think I've seen his L3. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. Carnage is one of the guys for a long time I really wanted to see him bring into the game. And now that they brought him into the game, he's one of the guys I really want to see them bring in a better working version of him into the game. Uh-oh. I don't know what's going on there. Refresh my YouTube. Why does it look like... There it goes. Looks like it's back up and running. Started getting a loading screen on my YouTube before. I've never seen that before. What's gonna do? You. A lot of teams I figured out by kind of where they are and how many points everybody has. Get the most amount of synergies I can. Yikes. I think this should probably work best. That's not too bad. Just kind of looked a little rough. I was looking at there for a second because I wanted to put Venom Pool up against Iceman. I had to do that as an actual thing. That would not have worked out as well for me, I don't think. Kind of need his bleed. Uh-oh. His bleed was a little bit more constant, but I guess it's only on specials. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Alright, so I should have a Vulture now. I may put a little bit more into him towards the end later if I get bored. And then after work tonight, I will probably just be doing the Captain America arena, maybe with some Act 4 in between or something like that, clearing some Act 4. Probably should start looking at Act 5 too to see who exactly I would need to use for it, but or I just kind of keep bringing up the guys I'm planning on bringing up. I should be able to work it all in and out of there all right. boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. So that should be more than safe. Come back over to this one. I don't think they fixed this yet either. But once I hit the top of the milestone, I can just keep going right back into the arena again. Be a little bit frustrating. A couple new guys here, top my order too, throwing me off a little bit. But it's alright, it's good things. Good guys to have up there. Let's see, I wonder how well Voodoo will do against Nightcrawler. Don't really remember right offhand. Get rid of some of his buffs. I think both Guillotine and Dr. Voodoo are probably equally as well. Against her. Boom, boom. The next one's going to be the harder one. Nightcrawler can be quite a jerk sometimes, so we'll see. Another range down on that, I guess. Way too far off my timing. Ah, what a jerk. How's it going, Evie? Tony Kwame? Camaro? I'm always down to hear a joke. Love jokes. Yeah, I don't know why we ran map 3 there on day 5. That was kind of frustrating a little bit. A little bit irritated at my alliance for that. Like, why in the world are you wasting my time with map 3? Not too much. I should have just done the 3-star Vulture and gotten him done, and now I'm just working a little bit on the 4-star Captain America. I guess we'll get them both with the item usage yesterday. I was able to get quite a bit done. Pretty much finish Vulture yesterday, so should be a pretty good spot. I wasn't able to do any of them while I was on vacation. So Guillotine will be the harder one, so we'll bring in Black Widow. That all looks right. Only able to make it halfway through the joke. Doctor's patient, I have bad news. And worse news, patient said, "Oh dear, what's the bad news?" The doctor said, "Well, you only have 24 hours to live." Patient said, "What's the worst news?" Doctor said, "I've tried to contact you since yesterday." Yeah. It's pretty good. Pretty good. My default joke is, have you heard about the new pirate movie? It's rated R. I got about another 15 minutes or so, then I think I need to start getting ready for work. I haven't done that in almost a week, so it's going to take me a little bit to find everything and get everything all back together again. Jerk face. I wonder how exactly this works with his cold snap. Worry about his reflective armor then? I guess don't worry about anything. Just run him over. How's it going, Dennis? First one, I guess. There, you there, you there, you there. Should be alright. Alright, 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 alright. You can definitely tell I'm starting to get a little bit more tired here. Not much more random junk I have to talk about. Would assume when Deadpool 2 comes out, I'm not even sure when that is right offhand. Assume they'll put DPX in the arena and put like a special red Deadpool arena. Punch him in the face. I think I should be more than on my way right now to getting Captain America, which is good. If I can put in a pretty good night tonight, then I'll should be able to lock him up. Right at the 2 hour mark, so in between every single fight I should get a new group of guys back. I kind of want to go with the first one, but I'll go with this one, take the class advantage. 2, just the 1. Alright, that works alright. Groot will fight against Drax then, because he'll take advantage of bleed immunity. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. No. Jerk. Oh, Spider-Man. Do 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 do. I'm not getting too tired to do this. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Down he goes. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Punching dudes in the face. Alright, I think I'm just going to do one more here. And then I'm probably going to call it. Go start getting ready for work. Then after this one, I'll probably come back later on tonight. Probably not till pretty late in the night, but awesome. All advantages. I don't know if I have a real advantage here between Mordo or Doctor Strange, whichever one they're fighting. Maybe I should go like this. It might work a little bit better. I don't know if it really matters. Either one's really going to do that much better against the other one. Timing didn't work out all that well. Boom, 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 boom. Bum, 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 bum. Respond to that in a minute here. Let's get this fight done first, and then just want to thank all you guys who stuck around here all the way to the end of the stream. I hope this is fun for you as it was for me. If this is your first time, you know, with the like button, subscribe, come on back. We do it all again some other time. Yeah, I'm gonna try to come back later tonight. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, I gotta go start getting ready for work and all that. I'm getting. I almost feel like I need a nap before I go into work. But yeah, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you guys later. Take it easy.